Hey everyone, another challenge lock here. This one was by Spooner. It is called Teaspoon. And operates pretty smooth. We'll see if we can get it picked open. I haven't given it any attempts yet, so I'm gonna guess a 1.2 millimeter tensioner is probably, fits right in. Looks like some sort of quick set. Got a little bit of play at idle, so we might already be on some sort of spooled element. I'm going to go for my normal deep hook. And it's that quick set keyway, so might go off of the ramp here. Pin 1 feels loose, 2 feels loose, 3 is loose, 4 is binding. 1 solid movement there. 5 is binding into a little bit of a false set. I do not feel a 6. Back to the front. 1 loose, 2 loose, 3 is binding. Getting some counter rotation. Got it moving, got another movement. On to 4 again. 4 is binding again. 1 solid movement. Still bound up. Some counter movement. I think it's still... yeah, it's still binding a little bit. Lighten up that tension. Bounce on it. There we go. Now it feels good. 5 is... got a little bit of binding going on. It's not very strong. There might be another stronger pin. Yep, I think 2 is our mate. It felt kind of mushy. Don't know if I just overset that. Pulsing tension, nothing drops, so come out further. This is 2, this is 1. Very high lift. There we go. Was slipping off the pin quite a bit. Feels good now. 2, 3. 3 might be set. 4 and 5. 5 actually counter rotated enough that I dropped stuff. There we go. Definitely heard things drop though. Feels like 4 for sure. And 2 probably. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4, 3, 2. Feels like some insanely high lifts, except for maybe 3. This is why I tend to go for the deep hook right away and just navigate around pin stacks. Except for 3. 3 is definitely lower. I feel like I overset it. I dropped tension and it doesn't seem to drop back down, so maybe not. Maybe it's good. Some definite sharp clicks, a lot of hanging up, so there's probably some sort of serrated core, something like that, interacting with the driver pins. Things like to drop, so five there definitely feels like it's probably hung up. I don't know if there's another pin that's bound that we can use to cause any kind of shift in five. Probably not. So let's go ahead. It's gonna drop a couple, but not a big deal. There we go. Applying some gentle manual counter rotation there. Got five to loosen up, and I got into a decently deep false set. Probably don't need to float things, but I don't like to force pins. So manually counter rotating with some floating just feels a little more comfortable to me a lot of times, especially in challenge locks where I don't necessarily know how sturdy a given top pin is. Okay, so five, bound up again. There we go. Got past it. Four, three. Three is a deceptive pin for me. I can't tell exactly what's going on with three. One and two both feel probably okay. And then when I go to three, I can never tell if I'm oversetting it or not. See, that seemed pretty deep movement, but unsure if it's overset now. It kind of had a mushy feeling, so leads me to believe it is overset. I think so. I think it does overset, so it's very easy for me to overset three. Possibly as I am just setting 4 and 5. So we have a nice false set here. Let's see if we can stay in it. So 3 counters. Trying to tap it over the edge. There we go. That's the edge there. Let's go back to 5. Guess we lost our false. Okay. See if we can find what's holding us up now. 2, 3, 4. Maybe it is 5 itself. I don't think so. 4. 3, I'm pretty confident is set where it's at. Take a look at 1. Very high lifts. Pull this tensioner out so that I can get up to it very well. I think it's 1. It's just a very high lift. Slipping off the pin a lot. There we go. Counter rotation. I think one is now set. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it is. One's good. 2 is good. 3, I'm pretty confident that every time I've pushed on 3 right now, it goes into an overset, so we're just gonna leave it alone. Go to 4, 5. That should be 5. 4. Can't tell if 4 is set or not. It feels like it probably is. 3. 2's way up there. These insane high lifts are a pain in my butt. It is as if Spooner went and found a very specific, insanely high lift bitting, or made a very insanely high lift bitting. And there we go. And one more tap on 5 there. And we got it open. Whew. That was challenging due to the high lifts. I enjoyed that quite a bit, actually. I'm going to take a look at what's inside, but as we can see, I have a lot of gutting magic going on. So we're going to use one of my little tiny trays here. And then I will just kind of get this into a better view for everybody to see. Set my focus to probably a continuous style. So that was teaspoon. It is picked. Now we'll look at the key. Yeah, okay. So 1, 2, 4, 5, all very high lifts, and then 3 of very low lift. I don't know if Spooner found a lock that had that, or if he made that himself, but that is wild. It gave him a lot of room to use driver pins to do evil. I'm really curious to look inside. Really curious about what 3 looks like, just to know to know what I was constantly oversetting there. I know now looking at it that, like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that I was oversetting 3 a bunch. Just because of that movement from 4 and 3. I don't think I would have gotten that if I didn't go to my deep hook right away. So because this has a Bible cover, I'm going to try to use that to start. Just because then I don't have to worry about shimming the insides as much. I don't know if there's an edge somewhere I can grab onto with it. It's not seeming like we're getting any grabbing, and I don't want to damage anything. We may try to... Doesn't want to go that way. Let's do the old-fashioned screwdriver with a very thin flathead technique. This is the abuse of a screwdriver. Do not recommend it, but it works pretty good at prying these up. See if I can get under here without damaging anything. It is bending it a little bit, so I'll have to do a little bit of work bending it back. Can't tell if he glued this darn thing. Alright, I guess we'll give up on that. I don't want to damage his fresh lock. We'll just bend that back. With my variety of bending pliers. I don't know if I can get this one to actually work. Should be back. So I guess we'll do this the old-fashioned way then. It's a very tiny C-clip. And grab a shim. And key. We're gonna go like this. Try to wiggle our way in there. Get turned under. There we go. And let me get my follower of the correct size now. Alright, it didn't look like there was any gutting difficulty actually there, but had to make sure. Got to stay safer. Let's take a look at these key pins he's got. Here's 3. 1, 2, know, a shared chamber. It's kind of common in a lot of the quick set cores. Doesn't look like did anything with the key pins, so it's just the standard quick set key pins. All the magic is probably up top. So, try to get a look at this first one. Ooh, it's like a T-pin spool. T-pins are kind of why at the end there I was tapping. Oh, I shot number 2 out there, but number 2 is a hourglass with a little T-pin. So those little T-pins are kind of why I was going through and tapping each one individually multiple times at the end there, just kind of looking for a binder, and one little tap is what opened it at the end, and it was probably just that tap all pushed that little T-pin. That last little bit it was needed. So 3 I was oversetting like mad, and 3 is a very short, tiny little hourglass. Love it. And driver pins are very, very nicely machined. I don't know if he used a file or a mini lathe or something on the like, but he did a very good job making nice clean pins. 4 is a multi, like a GG style spool pin. And 5 looks like it's also a little multi-style. Oh, not even. It's kind of got a little taper and a little really thin-lipped spool on it. And then the top portion is tapered. Very nice. And all the springs were the same. And I kind of commented while I was picking it about milling, but it doesn't look like any of the chambers are milled. However, my guess on what I was feeling is actually the fact that these tiny little spool elements, these like thin lip spool elements, 5 was getting hung up a lot, and I wanted to float it, and it's because this sharp little element can get caught on this space pretty easily. And I like floating it, especially knowing that there can be these small elements. If I would have forcibly manually counter-rotated past this little lip, it's very possible that I could have damaged it. I say that not knowing if people have actually damaged things, but I tend to be a little bit gentler on things and prefer manually counter-rotating a lot of times just to be nicer to the lock. So that was Spooner's Teaspoon. Let's see if I can get everything together in one cute little shot there. I really enjoyed this. It was a fun lock to pick. You guys got to see my first attempt working through it, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll hopefully get more challenge locks in the future, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!